Welcome back to Money Math. We are going to use this canvas to make another enlargement of the pine cone. I'm going to focus only on the golden rectangle overlay. But here you'll be able to see some calculations that would help you make a scale drawing of your object from nature. So this distance is 11 inches. So all of these numbers are the distance from here to here minus 2. So it's 13 minus 2 is 11 inches. So there's a nice use of a negative number. 13 plus negative 2 is 11. And then my length is 14 inches. So we have a ratio of length to width of 14 to 11. Now this is not, we know that 14 elevenths is not equal to 16 over 10. And we can show that with long division or just grab a calculator, which is way more fun. 14 divided by 11 is about 1.3, and 16 divided by 10, we all know, I shouldn't even have to do this, just move that decimal place back one, is 1.6. And we've been really exploring that days 1 through 6, or 0 through 6. You should feel more and more comfortable with this decimal approximation to the tenths place. This fractional representation, remember that's approximately equal to the square root of 5 plus 1 over 2, which is the irrational numeric expression that goes to way more decimal points. Here we're just going to the tenths place. How do I want to position the golden rectangle on my canvas if my canvas is 11 by 14 and I'm recreating a rectangle that's 10 by 16? So while 10 can fit inside 11, 16 cannot fit inside 14. So I'm going to have to think about how to fit 16 units here. Well, 14 divided by 16 is 0.875. 875 thousandths of an inch. Inches are broken into 16 parts. 0, 8, 16, 4, 12, 2, 6, 10, 14. This is a really good skill to practice if you're looking for something to practice. Creating number lines that have equal intervals. It's really important when you're graphing because if you don't have equal intervals, then it's not proportional. Our golden rectangle, 16 of these, it'll fit from here to here. So 14, and that makes sense because 14 sixteenths times 16, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 spaces. Cowabunga, awesome. Okay, now we want this length to be 10, so I'm gonna find the middle of 11 inches. So 11 inches divided by 2 is 5.5. So I go 5.5 inches in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Okay, so that's the middle, and then from there I want to go 5 7/8 of an inch to the right and 5 7/8 of an inch to the left. Remember, we're counting in eighths, so the next one's going to be 1 less. So if that was 3, then the next is going to be 2, then 1, then 0, then 7. So now I want to make the grid. Okay, so now we have a grid, and some of you might be like, sweet, why did we need a grid? But we want to create the golden ratio on the grid. I know that if this is 16, then I should start my next rectangle at 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from here to here, we have a 10 by 10 square. And then 2/3 or 0.6 of this 10 is 6. So this is over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there you have your next square. And then now we need to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What it's going to be like 3 point something. So we have 6 units and we want to know what 0.618 of that is. And so we multiply. So what part of 6 is 61 8/10%? So 61 8/10% of 6 is 3 7/10 about. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then 7/10. But I need to do it on the other side, so it's like right here. So now we have 3 7/10 times 0.618. Or I can type it out so you guys can see 3 7/10 times 0.618 is 2.2, which is what it looks like about 2.2. So then I make my square on the outside 2.2. Okay, good. This is going to be 2.3 times 0.618. 1.4, which is what it looks like about. I mean, we're a little off, but that's okay. And then 1.4 times 0.618 is about 86% of a unit. So that makes sense. It's like about there. And that's, we actually went further than the drawing did. So then now I can sketch my pine cone according to the golden ratio here.
Using the golden rectangle on my canvas, I can compare all the little squares to the golden rectangle on my printed photo. To get more comfortable with the types of curves and lines I was going to need to draw on my canvas, I traced the printed photo a couple times with the actual pine cone in front of me as a reference. I think proportionally in order to replicate the printed image but zoomed in on the canvas. To sketch a proportional drawing of a spiral on a rectangular grid, I need to think about the average rate of change of the curve. So I'm using my pencil to replicate the angles that I notice on the spiral, connecting 2 points on the spiral to make a secant line, and then thinking about the angle of that secant line to get the right spiral. Thanks for tuning in to Muddy Math. I hope you've enjoyed this video supplement to the live streams on scale drawings.